Hi, everyone, and welcome to Studio Jake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very excited. This is my vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture, from film to television to anime to novels to music and so much more. I'm very excited to dive into this topic today, and I hope that I will earn your subscription, whatever platform you're watching on. Give this video a like, share it out to everyone. I really appreciate it. All right, so Dave Bautista wants you to know that he is not playing Bane. Yeah, I know. This was something that was just gnawing at me. Oh man, just every day I woke up and I thought, is Dave Bautista playing Bane or not? I would lose sleep over it sometimes. I would be like, just tossing and turning. My wife would be like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I've got to know if Dave Bautista is playing Bane. And now we know he's not. Yep. Man, glad we settled that. Gee whiz. This is from Bounding Into Comic Books, just boundingintocomics.com. Not Bounding Into Comic Books, boundingintocomics.com. This is John Trent. Dave Bautista claims James Gunn plans to completely reboot the DC universe. Echoes David Zavlav's previous comments. So, I'm going to skip a little bit ahead, but he was Bounding Into Comics is quoting an interview he did with Insider, where he told the outlet, "I have had conversations with James about that, but I think the direction he's leaning in, completely rebooting that whole universe, he's starting from scratch and starting younger and fresher, and I think you need to do that." Bautista then elaborated on his own thoughts about the DC universe. "I think for the DC universe to be revived, you need to start from scratch, and I think you need to start with younger actors." He added, "You need to start to plan for the next 15 years. I don't think you can do that with me, and I understand that. And also, I have to say that I appreciate that because I don't want to play a character that I can't bring justice to." Okay, did he not see that zombie movie he did with Zack Snyder? Anyway, specifically referencing his past preference to play the Batman villain Bane, the actor said, "I don't think at this point in my career that I can bring justice to Bane anymore. I just don't know if I could handle the physical part, and I don't think I would have the longevity to plan ahead for films. So I just don't know if I'd be that guy." So I was kind of being tongue in cheek about, the whole, is he playing Bane or not? I was making a joke and whatnot, but this actually comes from, he was at a Comic-Con, I think, and he did an interview in 2021 where he said that if he could play any character in the DC universe, he would play Bane, and Chuck Dixon, the co-creator of Bane, even endorsed him for the role. But, and maybe this is just me in the little bubble I live in, I don't remember there being a whole, except when he first announced it, I don't remember there being a whole lot of top 10 list of people who could play Bane where he was on it. With Bautista, I'm not saying he would do terrible at it. The guy is an okay actor. He's way better at playing physically foreboding roles, but he kind of does the same thing Dwayne Johnson has been doing, where he just plays himself in everything. So Dwayne Johnson, which is a shame because I've seen Dwayne Johnson pull off some really good roles, like in Faster, but with Bautista, I've never seen him not do himself. Even Drax is kind of like him being almost a satirical take on himself, but that's just my opinion. As to who should play Bane, in my humble opinion, and I said this after I saw the disaster that was Batman and Robin, was they should have gotten a luchador from Mexico, and then for the body part, and and then have him wear his traditional mask, which doesn't have a mouth, and then have someone like Danny Trejo voice him. That way we could get or it doesn't have to be Danny Trejo. I just was real impressed with him voicing Bane in Young Justice. It could be someone like Hector Elizondo, or it could be Henry Silva, who voiced Bane famously in Batman the Animated Series. A very good actor with some good diction. Because even one of the things that's interesting about Bane is usually when Batman faced more of a brawn themed villain, like Killer Croc, he's not the smartest guy in the whole bunch. I mean, he kind of just runs a game based on intimidation, the size of him and all that stuff. Same with someone like Blockbuster. But with Bane, what makes him interesting is he's brain and brawn. So I could kind of maybe see Bautista doing the role. I'm not saying he would be terrible at it, but he wouldn't be my choice. I still think they should do the double casting thing. Big guy for the bodysuit, and then and a more experienced actor with good diction as the voice of, because they had that problem with Batman and Robin where they had Bane where he works with Poison Ivy but he doesn't have any dialogue. It was a very dumb way to portray the character. Or you get someone like Tom Hardy playing the role. And by the way, I like The Dark Knight Rises. I know it has a lot of haters. I don't care. I thought it was a good movie. Sure, it had problems, yada 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 yada, but I thought Tom Hardy did a good job. He gave Bane a more, I think he said in an interview he was trying to do like a more gypsy accent, with the whole thing, since Bane in that movie wasn't from a former Spanish colony, right? Santa Prisca. But whatever the case may be, we'll see. I do think it's interesting that he spilled some tea on what James Gunn is doing. I still think it's kind of funny that James Gunn doesn't want to fire, a legit criminal like Ezra Miller to play the Flash, or get rid of, the Me Too fraudster Amber Heard, for their roles. But he wants to get all younger actors for for his reboot. And to me, this kind of brings up interesting. I'm wondering if the Suicide Squad, which was sort of a soft reboot of the one that David Ayer directed, then claimed he didn't, and first he endorsed it, but then he didn't, and then he claims there's another cut of his film out there. Sure, whatever. Whatever the case may be. I'm wondering if we're going to find out that movie is like the first of the James Gunn universe, because I remember, I didn't watch Peacemaker, but there was this clip floating around where someone kind of, points to Peacemaker and says, you're not a hero because, someone like Batman doesn't kill. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit. And Peacemaker says, Batman is a bleep, but basically saying a coward because he doesn't kill. I'm a real hero because I'm willing to take the lives. And I just don't. But in the DCEU, Batman was a murderer. Like, he had a mounted machine gun on top of the Batmobile, and he was mowing people down as he was driving by them. He was bashing in people's brains. He was crushing them with boxes. A lot of people were coming after me because it's like, well, no, he just became the Punisher. He's not Batman. He's the Punisher, just with a bat cowl. And, so that to me tells me that he is going in a different direction than the DCEU. He's not going to have murder bats. Hopefully he won't have Batman, Moonus. But I think that, James Gunn is a better filmmaker than Zack Snyder. I mean, the guy's a pervert, sure, we all know this. But, it's possible that his DCU could be good. I've heard, now this is a rumor that I heard in the wild interweb, so take this with a grain of salt. This is a rumor. I have heard that he's actually looking into getting some of the Arrowverse actors to become the film actors, and maybe even some of the ones from the HBO Max series. So like the actor who plays Cyborg in the Doom Patrol, or Grant Gustin from The Flash, or his name escapes me, but the actor who plays Superman in Superman and Lois. I've heard that. I don't know if that's true, by the way. Like I said, that is a rumor, but it's just because he keeps saying, I want younger actors. I want actors who are a little bit more cooperative with me. And certainly actors who go from TV to film will be a little bit more cooperative with you. So that's certainly a possibility in that regard. But again, I don't think that this rumor is true. I just thought it was an interesting one that I had read. Whatever the case may be, I hope that James Gunn does a good job with it. I'm curious to see what his unveiling is. I did think he did the wrong thing by firing Henry Cavill. It's clear he hates the fans. He puts up a big show like he's on the fans' sides, but it's obvious he hates them, or he wouldn't have gotten rid of Henry Cavill. Oh, but that was David Zaslav. I don't think so. I think that him and that other minion that is over DC Films, I think they were all three involved with it. I think it's because James Gunn wants to leave the Snyderverse behind. I think he wants to create the Gunverse, and, for lack of a better term, but that's what I think is going on. Like I said, James Gunn is real hit and miss. He's not like the greatest director in the world, but he's not the worst director in the world. Like I said, he's certainly better than Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder has made one good film his whole life, and that was 300. I guess if you want to count that animated film he did for kids, okay, maybe two, but I think he's a hack. I've no secret about that. I don't think James Gunn is a hack. I just think he has his lane and he sticks to it. So with Dave Bautista confirming he is not going to be Bane because they want to go into a direction where they're recruiting younger actors, this is going to be an interesting gamble, because one of the reasons the MCU took off was they didn't go that route. They got more experienced actors, people who had been doing films for a long time to fill those roles. It was when they started getting younger actors, more up-and-coming actors, that the MCU kind of started to fail, with the exception of Tom Holland, in my opinion. But who knows? We'll have to see where it goes. Like I said, I'm not shedding any tears that Dave Bautista is confirming he's no longer Bane, but I'm also not blown away by this news either. Like I said, I would prefer to see Bane double casted, someone, a luchador, giant muscle man, traditional Bane mask, and then someone doing the voice. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment and tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to StudioJake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.